so I had asked Kenny, I was like, kind of similar question that I asked Curry on like our last few miles. Kind of like, what were some of the takeaways? What did you enjoy about this? And he was like, I think it's so incredible how many lives you got to impact because you did this. The amount of people that you put together, the amount of people that came here for one cause to help you, like, is really awesome. But we don't enjoy pain. We don't enjoy being hurt. Like, none of that is fun to us. And I think that's something that, like, can get misconstrued, especially in social media, is like, the more you hurt, the more painful it is, the better it is. It's not efficient. It's not correct, right? It's not healthy. It's not longevity, right? Like, we do these things. A, we train really hard for them, right? So it's not just a new thing. And then B, we know that there's something better coming on the other side of it.
Oh man, I sound all right.
You sound smooth.
I'm the producer, so I gotta make sure I sound the bit. No, I'm joking.
Yeah. Sean, you always sound the best, dude.
Nah.
Yeah, you always have this like buttery feel to it.
I hate my voice. Sean sounds so good.
Yeah, Sean sounds
Dude,
great.
no way, man. Nah.
Yeah, seriously.
Nah, man. Nah. Y'all sounded great. Y'all look great. I will say that. I'm happy to see y'all both together again. This is
thanks,
awesome.
No, it's been a
Yeah,
hot minute.
I know.
How long ago was the last one?
I don't know.
That's man, that was like, I mean, I think Daryl was on that episode.
Yeah,
It was that long
it's been a
ago.
while
Yeah.
because I'm
A
just
little
trying to
over
think.
a year, right?
Oh, it's been more than that.
More than 2 years?
No,
Oh, okay.
not
So
more
like a
than
year
2
and a
years,
half.
but yeah.
Yeah, probably like a year and some change. Nothing
Okay.
too crazy.
We'll go 17 months. You know, something along that.
You sound like someone that just had a kid. Oh, he's 17 months. I'm like, dude.
That's like one of my
I don't know how
biggest.
to count, Bubba.
That's one of my biggest pet peeves is when people like count in months for their children. I'm like, can you just say like a year and 6 months?
Once he's
Like,
over a year, dude, it's just like, come on, man.
Yeah.
I don't want to do all that math.
Yeah.
I'm on Facebook just to look at freaking people get fat in Marketplace.
man, yeah.
Trying to make yourself feel better.
Dude, sometimes that does feel good when you're friends with high school. When you're friends from high school and they like clearly peaked in high school and you're like, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
So yeah, I mean, I hate
A little bit, yeah.
I hate that, but yeah, I agree because I went the other way, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that there's anything special about me, but when I was in high school, I was like the fat kid. No one knew who I was.
No, talk your shit,
And,
Phil. Shit, if you're special,
And I
bro.
feel pretty good now. You
Yeah.
know, I remember specifically like when I first started like working out, trying to lose weight and stuff. I remember asking people for help, and now it's the other way around. So sometimes you gotta let time, you know, kind of time
Let
play
it
out.
brew.
Yeah, I mean, you feel kind of bad for that, but there's side note, not related to this at all, but kind of. I'm going through like a really tough time with some a rental thing right now with one of this house that we're having to evict someone, and the situation is so ridiculous. What I have found myself doing now is I have found this community of people online that believe the Earth is flat.
Oh,
And so, like,
you found flat. I got a few of those on mine.
Yeah,
I know some of those.
So what I've done is I started listening to them like debate, like actual scientists.
Oh, man, yeah.
And the
it's pretty bad.
stupidity and the craziness makes me feel better about my situation.
Yeah, there's a documentary out there about that. No, those dudes all look nuts,
and
dude.
I'm like, these scientists have to deal with this.
Yeah.
All I have to deal with is like this other little thing.
fiction.
You know what I mean? Like,
Perspective.
It makes me feel so much better.
Yeah.
About like the situation that I'm
That's
in.
way better.
Yeah,
You
dude.
know,
When I watched that documentary, I was like, sometimes you can be swayed. Sometimes there's at least one or two people when you watch a documentary and it's like, oh man, you know what? This guy, I can see him making sense. No one there. Like
None.
for that one.
Zero, dude.
I think it starts off and a dude's like juggling while he's like on a unicycle or something. And I'm like, oh yeah, man. Y'all set it up, man. Like what's going on
I
here?
can't do it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Did you go to your high school reunion?
I went to my 10-year high school reunion. Yeah.
When I went to mine and I kind of had that same thought. Like I definitely don't think I'm some like special and I'm not like super shredded or nothing, but I didn't go the other way. And there was a guy that hit me with oh man, are you still doing your little photography thing? And I was like,
I love that.
I was like, yeah, man, you know I am. I was like, man, what are you doing? And he's like, man, you know, that new game on PS5 is coming out, so I think I'm gonna cop that.
Yes.
I was like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
got you. Yeah. I understand. I understand now.
Eli, you still doing that little fitness thing?
Yeah, I'm still trying. Still trying.
Yeah.
Man, dude, because I've had so many endeavors, right? And some do really well, some don't.
Sure. Yeah.
But regardless, I get that all. So you like,
Dang, good thing that was empty.
That's the only reason I put it there. If I wasn't expecting Sean. I wasn't expecting Sean to sprint
like,
over.
I feel like he went out of his way for that
He
one.
could have. You could have just like been like, "Hey, move the mic a little closer," and I would have like.
Nah, dude.
Well,
It's like
I don't
sprinting
know.
over.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I got a freaking.
Can you imagine if
kick
he just
the
hit all the
can.
cameras?
Yeah. Is everything going?
Yeah, everything's
good?
recording.
Okay.
Yeah, we've been around.
Yeah, that's so funny. It's like I feel like he definitely went out of his way to
Yeah,
like.
I got full extended.
Yeah.
Fuck Celsius, Alani
No
knew
doubt.
only.
Yeah. Man, you have done a lot of different things.
Yeah.
What's your favorite? I'm assuming fitness is like your favorite one, or am I wrong? If it's not, that's okay. I'm
It's
just
probably
curious.
not my favorite, just because of the culture and environment behind the like what mass media thinks fitness is, and just like it's just so diluted and it's just dirty. A lot of it, like finding good, clean content is like hard to find
So
on
tough.
social media for fitness. Everything is just so sexual based that it's just like, I just want to get like good fitness.
Yeah.
I can't like, and it's just a dirty market. So I really try, like, if you're to get on a lot of my social medias, like, it's like not a whole lot of fitness stuff, just because like it makes me mentally like
Ill.
Yeah.
Yeah, it hurts, dude.
It's just dirty.
Yeah.
So I really like a lot of like outdoor stuff. That's
Mm.
usually what I like to follow.
I want to ask you more about that, but just a personal thing on the fitness thing. What we've done recently is really shifted away from like general mainstream fitness stuff, and really, even with like our client base here, and really shifted more to like a little bit of an older demographic and focused on that. Like, we want less people that come in and say, I want to lose 60 pounds by this date and I'll do whatever it takes.
Yeah.
Like, that's cool, and I respect that, and I can help people. I'll help people do that.
Yeah.
But we've shifted away from that and more into, I want to feel better.
Yeah.
I want to feel stronger.
Yeah.
I want to get out of bed easier.
Yeah.
We focus more on that type of demographic and that type of content.
Yeah.
And if I feel like it's like my, I think of the word, but my space within fitness, I feel better about it.
Yeah.
Since making that little shift.
I could see that.
The
a lot.
impact that you're making on
Yeah,
fitness.
the impact I'm making, and my annoyance, my annoyance with it is so much better.
I think in
because I'm
time-
less annoyed.
Yeah, you start
basically.
finding also people that are more in line with that,
Yes,
right?
exactly. Yeah.
which is kind of like what you want. So I think the more that you put that out there, the more the right people that you start to find,
Yes.
right? So I think that's beautiful.
And there's definitely a subset of people like in their 20, like younger people, you know, under 30 that care about those things, but it's a lot smaller of a portion.
Yeah.
Right. And I feel like that portion of people will find us,
Sure.
on their own. But as far as what we're putting out there, is more targeted to a little bit of an older person that has different things in mind, more like maintenance. I want to live my best life.
I was about to say longevity
Yes.
almost.
Yeah,
that's
right.
Like you want to create longevity. You start to, your priorities shift in life,
Yeah.
right? Like what you cared about in your 20s, you don't care as much in your mid to late 30s to 40s, right? And then same thing when you're 60. Like everything shifts. So your goals shift, your priorities shift, and your fitness will shift because of that.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of it starts with I don't have kids, but I feel like a lot of times it comes with like your first child and things like that, which usually happens more like in the later 20s and 30s. Your kid gets a little older, so you just start to focus less on yourself, and you're forced to focus on another life.
Yeah.
And then things start to come together about like what actually matters.
Yeah.
And
And
what do
like
I
widens
really
your
need to dial in?
perspective.
yeah, exactly. Like you care about your health so you can be here for this other person.
Yeah.
Or same for me, like I don't have kids, but we got married last year. So it's like now my focus is on us being together and being healthy together.
Yeah.
And providing for our staff and our clients instead of, I just want to be as jacked as possible. Don't get me wrong. I still want to be
Yeah,
jacked.
yeah.
You know, but I have this other priority as well. And it's just kind of, it changes.
Yep.
You know, but yeah. So you were talking about outdoors. Sorry, I kind of sidetracked there, but
Oh, I don't know. I just love like outdoor content. It's free, especially like when you live in Houston. You know, it's easy to get just like, I mean, I drive a lot, so just a lot of traffic, and that just like stews on you. At least it does for me.
What do you mean? I'm not following. I'm sorry.
So like I spend a lot of time driving in traffic, and traffic is stressful.
Okay.
And so being able to get on social media and see Bigfoot AI out there. You've never seen Bigfoot AI?
I don't think
Bigfoot
so,
AI.
dude.
I've seen Bigfoot
Oh,
AI.
Bigfoot AI is
Our
the best.
algorithms are totally
Oh,
different.
dude.
I also seen like Houston Gorilla too. That one was pretty
What?
funny. There was like
There's these AI channels that make Bigfoot as like a vlogger, and he's like vlogging, but he's like as Bigfoot, and the Yeti will come on there every once in a while, but it just like shows him like being Bigfoot, and it's just really funny.
you gotta see it. You
I
gotta
have
see
to
it.
see
Yeah,
it.
it's really good. There's a lot of funny stuff. So like, yeah, that's.
I
what
thought you were gonna talk about how you enjoy fishing.
I mean, I do
You
enjoy
know.
fishing. If you're like I got done fishing last night at like midnight. So, yeah,
Hell yeah.
as much time as I can get fishing, I'll take it because it's my happy place.
Okay.
It's always where I'm happy.
Have you ever done anything? What's the word? Like business wise with fishing? Because that's kind of how we started this, right? We were talking about all the different things that you've tried. Because I know fitness.
I mean,
photography,
outside of just like a YouTube channel, not really. No,
Okay.
like I think I thought about getting into like some type of guiding, and then just realized like fishing is kind of like my time, and I don't really want to like turn it into work.
Ooh, yeah.
So I think that's kind of where that ended. I do, however, enjoy taking people fishing, just like taking
the
them.
homies, yeah.
Yeah. That's really fun, especially when they don't know what they're doing. Because that's
Yeah.
Oh, it's so much fun for me.
I don't even want to touch a fish, really. Like
You what?
I don't even want to touch a fish. Like a live fish, I'm good. I don't want to touch
Really?
it. Nah, I don't want to touch it.
Dang,
mean,
I'm with you, Sean.
I don't really want to touch
It's
it.
okay, dude. It's okay. I'm with
The
you.
one
Sean and I are the
the
same.
one time I went fishing, I went out with my buddies to the Texas City Dike, and I caught a perch, and I thought I caught like a marlin. I'm like, oh shit, I got a perch, and I'm like, oh man, someone hold me, you know. And I pull the perch up, and I'm like, hey, I got a perch, and they're like, all right, you're gonna have to get it off the hook, and I was like, what? And they say, yeah, you're gonna have to get it off the hook. So I was like hitting it on the dike.
Oh, come on, Sean.
And then it died, and I got it off the
dude.
hook. I got it off the hook. It was cut bait. It was cut bait. See, cut bait. I know because I went fishing. I'm a fisherman.
At least he said it was going to be cut bait.
It's cut bait.
How do you feel about that story, Eli?
It's sad to hear and vision him just.
Yeah.
Like if I was to be fishing by him and saw him do that, I would probably say something not nice to him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dang, Sean.
But it was cut bait.
Yeah, but no one knows that. Like it's easy to say it's cut bait after you slammed it into the rocks on the dike 7 times, right?
So you've only been fishing once, though, Sean?
Only once.
Really?
Your
Yeah,
whole
only once.
life.
Yeah, I've only been once.
That always like blows my mind.
Especially living here on the coast, you know?
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I loved fishing.
Okay.
I would beg. I grew up with my grandparents a lot. And I would just beg my grandpa, please take me fishing. Please take me fishing. I remember a very specific story. I don't know how old I was, somewhere between like 8 and 12 probably. And it was freezing cold outside. And the wind, I remember the wind was just howling, dude. The wind was hard. It was all cloudy and it was freezing. I wanted to go fishing so bad. And I remember asking my grandpa, like, please take me fishing. And he wouldn't. He was like, is the weather, it's so bad. And my grandma just like, take him fishing. You know what I mean? Like, take that boy fishing. And we went and it was miserable. I remember very clearly we were out there for a very short period of time, but I just wanted to go so bad. And that's how it was all the time. But now as an adult, dude, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know. It's patience. I don't know. I can't really see myself fishing
I have a lot
at
of
this
those-
point in my life.
I have a lot of those experiences the same growing up, where it's like you should not go fishing. It's way too cold. It's
Okay.
and I went out there, you know, and we'd last like an hour, hour and a half. And
Who's
then,
we?
Me and my buddy Andrew.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fish with him a lot. So we would do that. But yeah, now it's just like, I don't care as much if I catch like, even when I was running my YouTube channel, like, it was like very much like, I gotta catch a fish. I gotta like have something to put out to the world. Whereas like now it's just like, let's just go see what happens. I'm gonna love it regardless. If it doesn't, it doesn't. If it does, it's even better.
You go by yourself?
Typically, yeah.
Mm.
It's super hot right now, so getting someone to want to go fishing in the middle of the day in Houston like is not easy.
Mm-hmm.
And then B, a lot of the places that I go are not easy to get to.
Yeah, that's you mentioned earlier, like the Houston thing. Like, I feel like this is not exactly an outdoorsy type of place. Like, it's very
I feel like it has its
city.
pockets. It has its
very
pockets,
city-esque.
But yeah, you're
Yeah,
absolutely
yeah. I mean,
right.
there's plenty of places that you can go along the bayous that are like you're in the woods. You know, there's also the rivers that I fish a lot that are like the Brazos and the Trinity River.
How far are those away?
Depending on where you're at in Houston, it could be 30 minutes. It could be an hour and a
I
half.
had no idea. Like,
So-
freshwater rivers?
Mm-hmm.
No, I had no clue.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so you can fish those, but with all the rain we've had, the water's been too high and too fast to really get on.
Do you prefer that over going in the Gulf, I guess?
Generally, yes, just because it's a lot more reclusive, or not reclusive. It's a lot more. There's just a lot less people.
So like that.
It's more nature-esque.
more private.
Yeah. Like you feel like you're out in the nature.
I kind of be into that, I think.
Yeah, like that's nice. So I'll get my
I'd be
kayak.
open. I'd
Yeah.
be open to
I'll
it.
get my kayak. I'll go find a big riverbank and just set up camp out there. And I have, you know, all the woods and nature all to myself and no one bothering me. Like going to the dike, I won't do.
Yeah.
Because there's just hundreds of people.
There's
Everyone's
people just like
casting
bashing,
over.
bashing
Yeah, you
perches
got
and
perch
things.
getting
yeah,
slammed
yeah.
on the rocks. You know, you gotta listen to conversations you don't want to hear. It's just a lot of that. So like,
Yeah, I think I'd be way more open minded to what you're talking about. Because
Yeah,
when
well,
I
yeah.
think of fishing around here, that's what I think of.
Yeah.
You know?
yeah, I don't do. I can't
Yeah, when
do
I
that.
was younger, I wasn't too like open to that. Like, I think I did it the one time, and I was like, I wasn't a big fan of it, so I was like, I don't really care. Now I'm definitely a lot more open to like more outdoorsy and just different things. So it's like, you ever wanna go fishing?
After the race, me and Logan, we're like, we gotta take Sean fishing.
Oh, dude, I'm down.
So y'all haven't yet.
No, we haven't
I'm
yet.
down.
No. But we're
Speaking
gonna,
of outdoorsy, that's why there's a lot of fishing places, but there's also a lot of running places.
Yeah, you mentioned the
Houston.
run. Tell us some. You just ran a 100-mile race.
yeah,
How was that?
100 miles.
I watched the documentary. It looked like something.
Yeah. It's 50 miles of like fun and then 50 miles of not fun.
Tell us about the transition point between that fun and not fun.
My right leg.
What happened? And was it right at 50 miles, like right at halfway?
Yeah, it was probably between 50 and 55.
Okay.
Like I felt it at 50, but it wasn't stopping my gait pattern from moving efficiently. But right around like 58, 59, like I could start to feel it. And that was an issue. And then it got to the point where it was like miles 70, 75, where like I couldn't bend my leg at all. I was just kind of like hobbling.
And you still got a marathon to go.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Before we get too deep, can you just give us a quick rundown of the race? Like, tell us about the logistics of a 100-mile race.
So this
You know?
race, it's set up in Huntsville State Park.
Beautiful, by the way.
Huh?
It's beautiful, by the way.
Oh yeah, it's
Super
amazing.
nice.
So you run around this lake, and you do 5 laps. So 20 miles a lap. So you get to meet your crew either at aid stations or at the start-finish line, essentially, because you go back through it every 20 miles. And it's just as many, like you do 5 laps as fast as possible, essentially. And you just run around this really pretty lake. You don't get to see the lake a whole lot because you're in the woods, but you do see the lake a few times, and it's really pretty.
So, I mean, the trail is pretty mapped out. Like, for the most part, like, you know where you're going. Or was the first lap kind of like You're kind of lost halfway.
The first 2 hours of the first lap, it's all dark.
Because you leave at what, like 3 a.m. or something?
No, not that early.
Okay.
I think the race started at 6 a.m.
Oh,
So it
okay.
started at 6 a.m. But still, like,
Yeah, but you're out in the trees, I guess. So like it takes longer for sunlight to actually
oh
penetrate.
yeah.
I got
yeah,
you.
Yeah.
I'm following.
And that's in February, so like sun wasn't getting up as early as it is now.
Well, you know, the Earth, the sun revolves around us, right? We talked about this earlier, Eli.
You're right.
The sun, all right, whatever you're getting at is false, dude.
Yeah.
Okay,
Don't get me started on the ice wall now. Don't get me
Yeah.
started on the ice wall.
get it straight, okay?
My bad.
All right, continue.
My bad.
Because anyways, it's 6 a.m. You're lost for the first 2 hours.
Yeah, I mean, it's great because, like, everybody's together at this point in time, too. So you have...
How many participants? Sorry.
There's probably 300
Pretty
and
significant.
365.
So 360
I could be wrong,
plus
but
people
it's somewhere around 300 some people.
signed up to run 100 miles.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that surprising?
Dude, I was blown away.
A little bit.
So I'm there. And I was doing the video and I was like, dude, it's crazy that A, we're up at 6 a.m. to run. B, we're up at 6 a.m. to run 100 miles. And C, you have a team of like 7 people here to help you run that.
Yeah.
And there's multiple people there with teams to do that. I was like, bro, you got some homies. These aren't friends. You got some homies, bro. Like, that's crazy. I was like, I can think of probably like 2 friends that I could possibly like depend on to do that and be there. But it's like, dude, not 5. That's insane.
Yeah, I kind of asked you about the logistics, and sorry, I changed the subject because I want to make sure you guys know like the Earth situation and how our universe works. But yeah, you know, continue about the logistics. So it's 5 laps, 20 miles per lap. It starts at 6 a.m. There's 300 plus runners. Sean's each runner has a full team, so you have like a little tent with. I'm assuming you need lots of food, you need nutrition, you need hydration during a race like this. How long does it take? What's the average? What did the person? I have so many questions, so I'll just let you tell us about it. But I'm gonna stop you along the way.
Yeah. That's fine. No, let me think. So there's 8 stations throughout the whole course. There's I think 4 or 5. Sean went to a lot of them. Big 8 stations that come with hydration, water, food, bathroom. Some of them bathroom, some of them not. So you can stop at those and refill your water, your electrolytes, your food, whatever you want. On top of that, you have your crew that can go to some of these 8 stations and then are at the start-finish line for you to refuel, get all that stuff. So you have your crew, and then you also have pacers if you want. So after 50 miles, you're allowed to have someone run with you to just help you go faster, keep you on track, that sort of thing. So I had 2 pacers, one for mile 60 to 80, and then one from 80 to 100. So I had those, but not everyone has all those things. There are plenty of runners that also just had like their own tent, and they would just stop and get their stuff.
Straight Goggins style.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So there's plenty of people like that. Some people don't have pacers. Some people do. It just depends on the person, right? It also depends on the race. Like some people are coming to this race from, somewhere far, so they can't have as many people travel. The beautiful thing about where we were was everyone was so close to me that I could put together a group that could support me for that. So that was kind of the biggest thing. 'Cause some of my races, if they're far, I can't have all those people be able to swing it. But
Right.
when you live an hour and a half away, it's a little easier.
Everyone was able to drive there.
Yeah.
And then is this how long did it take you to finish?
27 hours.
And where'd you finish in the pack?
Probably like I don't know, middle of the pack.
You were in the middle of the pack.
Yeah.
So 27 hours, you said?
Yeah.
Would that involve sleeping or no?
No.
No sleeping.
Mm-mm.
I feel like it's a feat for a lot of people just to stay up for 27 hours straight.
Yeah. Yeah, I think people, and maybe they don't, but I don't think people realize what it means just to be moving for 24 hours straight, like not stopping or not sitting down. Like, I don't think people really know.
So you didn't stop to sit down at any of the aid stations or anything during the whole time?
No, I never sat down. I mean, I had to stop to eat or get my pack changed out, stuff like that. But I mean, you watch the film, you'll even see like you'll hear Logan like say like, "Don't stop moving," you know. And that's right around the time that I like slapped my face. But you get tired.
Yeah.
I had a lot of caffeine the last handfuls of hours.
How much is a lot?
I'd probably say, because I had Celsius packets.
Okay.
I don't know how many milligrams of caffeine is in that. Probably like 150 or so.
Mm-hmm.
And I probably had 4 or 5 of those throughout.
Yeah, because you're already up
8
for
hours.
You're already up for 20 hours. Well, you were up for even more.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that you got up very early that morning. The race started at 6. You were probably up at like 3. You were probably up.
We
at
got up
3,
around 4.
4.
We got up at 4. Yeah. So, yeah, it's a long day.
Wow.
Long
Let's
day.
go back to those first couple hours. It's dark. You started. Did you know the course? Like, had you studied the course?
I've actually ran the course, a lot of it. There was probably 7 or 8 miles of the course I wasn't able to run because it was closed.
Okay.
Outside of that, I had ran the course, but the part that I ran throughout the night, I never got to touch. So, and everyone's all bottled up together. I sprint up and get into probably about the front 20 or so, just because if you get caught in the back, even if you want to go fast, you can't go fast. So I get up to the front, and I'm running with a lot of probably the top people, and my headlamp sucked. It was bad. I should have worn my bigger headlamp, so I couldn't really see like in front of me. So I switched over and found somebody with a big headlamp and was just running by them and basically using their light.
Good strategy.
Yeah.
I like it. You don't think it would have been better just to hang out at the back and start slow? What was going through your mind at that point?
And there's lots of controversy behind, do you start slow and finish strong,
right,
or do you? The thing is, there's a term for it, but basically, like, your economy is only going to get slower no matter what. Like, your
true.
legs aren't going to ever get necessarily like stronger or better throughout the race. So me going a 12-minute pace and me going a 10:30 pace, like over a span of 100 miles, there's a big difference. And my leg economy is not really going to be any different either. But you start adding up 2.5 minutes per mile, that's a lot quicker over time. And I'm only going to get slower. So even if I start at 12, I may be still back at 8 or 16, at mile 60. I also didn't know how my leg was going to hold up.
Were you having some leg issues going into this or what?
So I actually got hurt in October. So the race was in February. I got hurt in October and couldn't run at all.
Perfect.
So I was out until a little after Christmas.
So 2 months of training for 100 miles.
Well, it was the February 1st was the race. So I really had about 4 weeks. So I was out October to basically January and then had that much time to get ready.
Good.
Let's run this 100.
So I really had no idea how it was going to go. Now I had 4 months ahead of that of like really solid training before that 4-month drop off. But I had no idea. I was like really worried that I could run 20 miles, have this big issue, pain again, and then my race was over. So I really had no idea what I was going to produce.
Were you feeling pretty positive though? Like, where were your confidence levels? Scale of 1 to 10.
Probably like a 3.
So low. You were not feeling strong going into this race.
No. I mean, I had a lot of like exterior motivation, meaning like I had family and friends and people telling me I could do these things. And in my head, I know I can do hard things, but it's still like I don't underestimate 100 miles and not just 100 miles on the road, but like these trails aren't like super easy.
Okay.
So I know my leg. Like I think I had like a 4-day taper, and like every run hurt, and like my legs just never felt good. So it was pretty tough.
Did you consider dropping out?
I don't think so. I called my coach.
I love that so much.
I don't think so. I told Kayla, my fiance, I told her, I was like, I'm still doing this. She's like, you're not even running. And I was like, I know, but I'll figure it out. I'm still gonna do it.
There you go.
And my coach, I was talking to him throughout my whole time period of being off and everything, and we had a conversation right before Christmas. I was like, hey, like, do you think this is doable? Like, is this actually, like, because I'm not just like me running 100 miles. Like, I'm having friends, family, people come to all help me, support me. I have Sean filming. Like, I have all these things that like are responsibilities that other people are taking away from their time to help me do this. So I don't want to waste everybody's time and effort. He's like, yeah, I think you can do it. And I was like, all right, that's all I need to hear. I was like, yeah, I think I can do it, but like I should probably like check in, you know?
Maybe he was lying.
And I mean,
I'm just wondering if you even considered that. Like,
oh, I did. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay,
Oh,
okay.
yeah. I was like, I mean, you don't. It's hard to like. You don't want to have to tell your athlete like, hey, I don't think you can do this. You know.
Right.
But at the same time, I think he knew a lot of the work that I put in beforehand, and I think he also knows like my race history and what I've done before, and he kind of knew where mentally I was at, and so I think that helped. Already going through tough things and tough races, and having higher mileage races already kind of under me, I think helped, just because I know what a lot of it feels like. I didn't know what it was going to feel like when it happened, but it just wasn't like in my head. I think if I was thinking about my leg at mile 20, I think it would have been a bigger issue.
What do you mean?
Like in the sense that like I'm so worried about how my leg's going to feel that I can't even just like run my race anymore. Right?
That was happening?
Yeah, because so my very first goal was to run sub 21 hours. That was my very first goal. And then I was like, wow, training's going really well. I could be putting together, like a 19, 18-hour race, which is pretty competitive. That's probably like a top 25 finish.
What kind of per mile pace is that? I don't do math
it's
on
like
camera.
I think it's probably like around like a 9-minute pace or so.
Okay. And like you said, this is on terrain, not on.
Yeah.
This is not a paved path.
Yeah, some of these parts were rough, dude. It was just like straight like roots, like down a hill and stuff. It was insane. Like
I want to get into the terrain stuff, but we'll kind of stay
Yeah.
on track with the mindset stuff right now.
So I was like, wow, this is going really well. I think I can like put together like a really good race. And then I got hurt, and I was like, okay, maybe we adjust some things. And then it wasn't getting better for a while, and time was going on. I was running out of time to train, and I was like, wow, I'm just wanting to try and like get to the start line, right? But as soon as the race starts, I'm like, let's go sub 24. Let's do it. Everything is like back in grease. And if I had thought, wow, I just want to try and finish this race at the start line, I don't know what my performance would have been like. Okay. I don't know if I would have finished. I don't know if my head would have been there.
So before the injury, you were thinking sub 20.
Yeah.
And what was the injury exactly? Just short and sweet.
So I had basically like an Achilles, a tendonitis, and then I have something going on my hip flexor. I'm still dealing with it. But something's off in my gait. So I got x-rays on my hips, and they're basically were like this. We got them to be about like right here. But
what type of methods like to?
So I was going and getting adjusted. They put me. They did this really cool like swinging chair thing, where they basically strap you in, and you're like upside down a little bit, and they just like rotate your hips. It's really cool.
Sounds like you liked
Yeah,
it.
it sounds fun.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
The wet
and-
towel method is what I call that one.
Yeah. And then I would get not ultrasound, but shockwave
Stem,
therapy.
yeah, like a stem therapy.
So that shockwave therapy was really cool. And I got that done on my Achilles and calf, and that helped a lot. But that was like the weirdest like pain ever.
But it worked.
Oh, it's so effective.
Okay.
Oh, it's so effective. I can't say enough good things about that. I don't think anybody else there likes it though.
Anybody else where?
At Village Chiropractic.
Oh, that's where you went. Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
so that's where I went up in the Woodlands area. Highly recommend to anybody. But everybody else hates it. They're like, it's so painful.
'Cause it
So
hurts, yeah.
And I'm like, I love this. It's like good hurt that you know, like, oh, things
It's
are happening.
effective hurt.
Yes.
Yeah. Effective. I
I'm
understand.
like, this is amazing.
Yeah. Okay, so we were thinking like initial goal was 20-ish, and then training's going good. Maybe I can get sub 20, right? Then we get hurt, and then you're like, all right, just finish. But then when we get to the starting line, you're like, I'm feeling good enough for 24.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of how you have to be, right? Like you're doing this big, like huge task that not many people are ever doing. You can't really go into it with the attitude of like, I hope I survive.
Yeah,
You know?
that doesn't work in this
Like that's
situation.
just not like that's not how I've handled any hard task, right?
Right.
Like you just have to go
That's a
out
great
there
point.
and bang, right? Otherwise, it's going to be a lot harder. So it's like let's just go out and put out the best race that I can, and if the wheels fall off, then I'll pick them back up when they do, right? But I'm not going to be thinking about that when I can be enjoying my race right now.
Is there a time limit?
Yeah, so they have a 32-hour
32?
cutoff.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's 32 hours.
Okay.
I wasn't sure throughout the whole race when that cutoff was because it wasn't even like on my mind for a lot of it. And
What
then-
about before the race? Were you thinking, was there any thought in your mind of like, I hope I finish? Was there anything like that going through your mind? Because you knew you have that time limit of 32 hours?
No, I knew if I was to not finish the race, it wouldn't because I'd run out of time.
It would have been because
Your leg just wouldn't.
Like, yeah, I would just be pulled out from injury or something. Like,
Okay.
I wouldn't I wouldn't be in a place where I'm like still trying on the trail and they like get me. You know?
Okay. Yeah,
It would
yeah.
be like, nah, I'm calling it here.
Mhm.
Like, or they'd be like, no, you're done here.
Yeah, someone would have made you.
yeah. But yeah, I would not just be like, oh, I just missed it.
Uh-huh.
You know? So yeah, no, I didn't really ever
Okay.
worry about that.
So you're at the starting line. 24 hours is on your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Is it like a shotgun start, or like how does that? How does
Yeah,
that
it's
work?
like a gun. I think Sean did have a
I think
gun.
it's a gun.
Yeah, they
I think
got
it
a
was
gun.
Yeah.
It's Texas. We got guns.
Second Amendment, Bubba. Shit.
Yeah, let's go.
All right. So the gun goes
Bang,
off.
bang. Yeah.
It's dark.
My
Yeah.
world is flat and my guns are loaded, Bubba. Shoot.
Yeah.
Sean knows. The gun goes off.
Yeah.
All right. And you go to the front of the pack because
Mm-hmm.
you're thinking this is the strategy that I'm going to take.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to degrade anyways. I might as well start fast.
Yeah.
I like it. Okay.
Yeah.
The first 2 hours, you say it's dark. You don't really know where you're going. How are you navigating? You said you found someone with a better light in front. Were you just kind of following the pack? Tell us about that experience.
So there's a lead. There's a lead pack, which is probably about 3 or 4 people.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's a chase pack that's probably like 10 to 15. And then there's bigger groups all behind
And
that.
at the lead, are these like pros? Are these like professionals? Like, are there professionals for this level of race and stuff?
Yeah. And this is kind of, I don't think there were any extreme, like top of the top guys at this race.
So it's a fairly casual race.
Well, generally this race brings in a few people that are
Top level.
like some of the best in the world, just because it's typically considered a fast course. So you'll have some fast guys that will come and try and set records.
Okay.
So 12 to 14 hour 100 miles.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So we didn't have any of those. I think the winning time was like 16 hours, which is still remarkable.
Yeah. It's
But
crazy.
but nothing like too crazy. But yeah, you see those guys, and if you watch the film, you hear me come in, and there's like guys that are like running 8-minute paces, and you're kind of wondering like, all right, are these people gonna burn out, or are these people like the real deal? So I was in the group behind them. And mainly just because I don't want to get caught up behind everybody, because I wanted to be able to get out front, and then I can run however pace I need to.
Once everybody splits up, then you kind of start running your race.
Exactly. So I'd probably say after the first 10 miles, everyone kind of settles in, and you start to find probably the people you're going to be running along with for a lot of the race.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the first 20 miles was fun.
Okay.
I had a blast. I loved it. I remember coming in and I saw my dad. He was super stoked to see me. Everything was feeling good. I was eating well. I was drinking plenty. That's the other thing. People don't realize I'm eating the entire race. You have to. Otherwise, you won't make it.
Yeah. What'd you eat? Man, I wish I would have asked this before we got into the race itself. Before the race, what'd you have for breakfast? Like, what did you eat that morning? How'd you fuel up for something like this?
So the night before, we went to Olive Garden, and that was just a big mess. It was like I think we were there like 3 hours.
Dude, I'm in Olive Garden, I think, since like 7th grade.
I think that was the first time since, probably at least over a decade.
Yeah.
Maybe a decade more.
I gotta run 100 miles tomorrow. Let me eat something I haven't eaten in 10 years.
Yeah.
Good strategy.
I went with something very simple that I get at any Italian restaurant, just some chicken, like Alfredo.
Okay.
Just something simple, which is what I would eat had we went anywhere, probably.
Mm-hmm.
So don't judge me too much.
I'm trying.
I see your eyes.
I'm trying.
I see your eyes. You're like, you idiot.
Sorry.
But no, the morning of, I don't really remember what I had. I think I had like some bars probably.
Okay. Yeah.
And water and electrolytes, like very simple stuff.
Uh-huh.
And then throughout the race, that first 20 miles, I was just having like Uncrustables or granola bars.
Straight
Stuff like
carbs.
Yeah.
Carbs.
Yeah. And everyone, like, people are always asking about my nutrition, and everyone is different, right? Like my buddy who's also running the race, he likes to have a lot more protein in his diet when he's running. That's just how he feels. That's how his body responds. But for me, I have like a lot of carbs.
Yeah. And this all comes through years of trial and error testing.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I mean, and even like all my long runs are usually like field testing days. So like anything over 10 miles, I'm consuming a lot of fuel, if it be by gels, if it be by food, and we're just seeing how my body responds, what it likes, and then also how much do I need and how much is too much.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of testing going on leading up to this race before. And even just like getting my gut to be able to handle that much is also like a big process.
Yeah, that amount of food is not something that you usually have to deal with on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, it can be really tough on your gut. So if you're not used to it, that will also ruin your race. Mm-hmm. So that was probably one of the best things is I had zero gut issues. Anytime I wanted to eat, I ate. I drank everything. I really had no
So you
issue
felt
there.
good the whole race.
Yeah. That was probably the most frustrating thing about it. Is like my body outside of my right leg
Was dialed in.
was great.
Yeah.
No issues. So that was like probably like the toughest mentally thing was like, man, like I'm so here, and this thing right here is not wanting to be.
Man,
involved.
it's so similar to my experience with my first just marathon, which is nothing compared to what you did,
Well,
but
it's
very,
incredible.
very similar experience. Everything was perfect.
Yeah.
Except my right leg. And like at mile like 19, my whole right leg just locked up. And I was like laying on the ground on the side of the road, and marathons are tough because at least the Houston Marathon, you have all these people, you have like thousands and thousands of cheerleaders.
Yeah.
And you have your name on your shirt, right? And they're like,
yeah.
Philip, you got this. Come on, Philip. And you're like complete strangers, right? And you're like, no, I don't.
Yeah.
Like, stop yelling at me.
Yeah. That's pretty similar to a lot of my
so
marathons.
rough.
That is the worst because you're like, you don't know Okay.
You
Yeah.
don't know.
Like
do not-
I'm at this pace for a reason.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm laying on the ground for a reason.
Y'all don't intake that energy though, and it doesn't like fuel y'all up a little bit.
Maybe at the beginning, but towards the end, it almost becomes like you get annoyed.
Yeah,
by
it's
it.
an annoyance.
Yeah.
You get like really annoyed because you're like, I get it, dude. Like, I know I'm almost there.
Yeah.
I know I'm 5 miles. Like everything just gets to be like frustrating and annoying.
Yeah, I guess at like the 100-mile mark, I'd be a little like frustrated too, a little peeved. Like, man, why am I still doing this? Like, no, I feel you, man.
So the first 20 you said were super fun.
Yeah.
Okay,
I loved it.
I'm assuming you stopped to talk to your team for a minute. Y'all grouped up after the first 20 maybe, or did you just run right through?
I had to refuel some of my stuff, but the transition was under a minute.
Okay.
Yeah,
So it's
so
quick.
very, very
Still,
quick.
second lap, how'd it go?
Second lap was still pretty good. And I remember coming into the second lap and being like, oh, this is going to be a good day.
Yeah, I'm about to crush it.
Yeah. Because I just finished 40 and I was like, if I feel this way at 60, I can pass a lot of people.
Oh, so your confidence was super high at 40.
Yeah.
I thought you meant coming into your after your first lap. You're talking after the second lap.
Well, yeah. So 20 felt great.
Yeah.
And like going into 40, I was like, if this lap feels good, which means I've already hit 40 miles, I'm going to be able to pass a lot of people lap 40 to 60.
I got you. I understand.
So
lap
I was,
3.
Yeah. So I was like, this may be hunting season.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
Like I was like, this is pretty incredible.
Yeah.
I'm pretty psyched.
Okay.
And so I remember coming in and telling my brother, who was part of my crew, I was like, yo, if this keeps up, we're getting some people. And he was
Okay.
like, oh yeah, let's go. And
We're going fishing, Bubba.
yeah.
Apparently they're going hunt and going,
Yeah.
Sean.
Yeah.
You're right.
But lap 40 to 60 did not go as planned.
Okay. What happened?
40 to 45 was good. And then right around 50, I probably went a little too quick on some sections.
Okay.
I was going like a 9:45 pace. For a lot of the race at that time, I was like a 10:15. And so like that 30-second difference was probably just a little too much and put a little too much stress on my right leg. And then that's the thing too, like it probably would have happened 5 miles later than 5 miles before. But it started to tighten up, and that's when I was like, oh no.
You knew it.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, this sounds so similar to my experience at the marathon.
Yeah.
It's like exactly the same.
Yeah, and you're just like, there's nothing you can do. You're like, I mean, like, I'm not gonna like stop and like, stretching isn't. I knew stretching wasn't gonna help it, or like stopping definitely wasn't gonna help it. It was just like, all right, well now I just gotta find a pace that I can keep moving. Yeah. And then so at this point in time, it's also like later in the day. The sun's about to go down.
Yeah, so you're 50 miles in, so it's that evening.
Yeah.
About.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's getting darker. And I was so hyped up from my last lap. They were like, do you want your headlamp in case it gets dark? And I was like, no, I'll be fine. I'm like,
I'll be
cruising.
back in no time.
Yeah.
I'll be back.
Yeah, exactly.
50 miles later.
Yeah. So at this point in time, I'm once again like, crap. It's dark. I don't have my headlamp. So I find another 2 guys that have headlamps that were prepared and that were running a pretty similar pace to mine. And so I basically get in like right behind them, and I'm just like tailgating them. And a couple times they were like, hey, do you want to pass? And I'm like, nah, I'm good. They're like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah, I'm actually using your light. So
you told them?
Yeah. Because, they were like having like full on conversations.
Oh, they were
and, like,
chilling.
Yeah.
They're in cruise control.
Yeah. So they were, I don't know, they may have been like annoyed that I was just like peering in on their conversations and stuff. But then that's why I told them, I was like, I'm using your light because I don't have a light on me. And they're like, oh, okay. And so I used them for like 10 miles. And got in, and it was like dark. It was dark.
So lap 3 was significantly slower than
Yeah,
1
so
and 2.
which is another funny thing because Logan, another crew member, had texted me. He was like, "Hey, where you at?" And I was like, "Yo, I'm gonna get there when I get there." Because I didn't have my headlamp. My leg was in a lot of pain. I couldn't really use it. I was getting frustrated. And the number one rule of anything over probably a marathon is like when you come into your crew, like no one asks you how you're feeling. Because generally after a certain point of mileage, it's not feeling great.
Right.
There's sometimes
It just is what it is.
Yeah. So you're just like, give me what I need
And let me get out of
and
here.
let me get out of here. Yeah. So I told him, I was like, and make sure no one asks me how I'm feeling. Because I knew there's a bunch of friends that were there.
And they don't know any
And
better.
they probably don't know the etiquette. And they're just like, that's just like a common question.
I thought you were going to be like, and I showed up and Sean was like, how you feeling?
Yeah.
I was silent. I was with Logan the whole time.
He had
and I was
warned
just
you.
like,
He's like, don't ask.
Yeah. So I come in, right? And I'm hoping that everyone's going to be like, yeah, you're here, all this stuff. But I don't know how Logan told everybody in like what form. But I show up and it is dead silent.
Sean, can you share how Logan expressed that to everyone? How'd that go?
I think he really just said, just don't ask him how he's feeling. I think that
really?
was really it. I don't think it was too like crazy or anything. He's a pretty like even keel dude. I think he was just like, hey guys, he's like kind of in a lot of pain right now. He's a little bit slow on pace. Just don't ask him how he's feeling because he's obviously not doing great. And then so I guess everyone took that like word as bond, and they were just like, as soon as he pulled
Everyone
up,
was kind of
just completely silent.
probably. What happens in that case? I would imagine that. Obviously, I wasn't there, but I'm just imagining myself being there. You don't want to be that person that actually breaks him. You know what I mean? Like you're on the edge, right? No one wants to be that guy.
Yeah.
That says the wrong thing.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, so everyone's like, we'll just shut up, and if he talks to us, then we know we can talk, right? So, like, in my head, I'm like, all right, because when you come into your crew, like, that's almost like your rejuvenation.
Sure. Yeah.
Right? You're like, my people are here. They're here to support me. They got my back. This is, like, my time to feel good again. Mentally, like, get refocused and feel good going into the next lap. I get there, and no one is talking. And I'm like, yo, is anyone gonna talk? I thought to my head, I was like, Logan probably told them, don't say this saying, and everyone took that as like, all right, I'm just gonna be quiet. So it's kind of a weird transition, but it's also when I picked up my first pacer, my buddy Curry, just a big jack dude, just looks great on camera type of guy. And so he comes in and he is dressed completely wrong. So it's February, first day of February, and I think the low was around like 37 degrees. So it was like 40 degrees at this point in time, and he's wearing a tank top and shorts. And in the morning, the first couple hours was also really cold, and my fingers, I couldn't use my hands or fingers or anything because they got so cold. And within like an hour or so, he couldn't use his hands because he didn't have gloves. He was shivering the whole time. And this lap was one of my slower laps, of course, because I couldn't really move very well. So we were like walking essentially for a lot of it. So he's not able to stay warm. He's just shivering his butt off. So he's so cold. We'll talk more about that, but it was rough for him.
Is it because he was expecting to be running?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even still, he was not dressed appropriately. Because, I mean, if we were to be running, it would still be like at a 10-minute to 11-minute pace, which for some people doesn't even seem like running. But when you're on the trails and you've already elapsed, 60 miles,
right,
it's definitely running.
Okay, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the trail.
Okay.
The condition of the trail. You're talking about pacing, 10-minute pace, to someone that runs, obviously everyone's pace is everyone's pace, right? To some people, 10 minutes is sprinting. To other people, it's,
a slow jog.
very, very slow,
whatever
right?
it may be.
Tell us about what is your average pace on the road compared to how that felt out here on this trail, and then we can talk about the terrain and stuff like that.
So I'd probably say like on a like an easy run day, it's probably anywhere from like a 7:45 to like an 8:15 pace.
And that's an easy run for you.
Yeah.
Meaning that you could go bust out a mile in like under 6.
Yeah.
No problem. Okay, so
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
a fast runner on pavement. Tell us about how that transitions to the course you
So
were on this day.
if I would be running like, and there's plenty of times where I'll do this, where I'll run 5 miles on the road and then I'll do 5 miles on the trail.
Oh,
I have
interesting.
trails right behind my house.
Okay.
So I'm able to do that. When I go from a 7:30 on the road and I'm like cruising, I'm feeling great. And when I get onto the trails behind my house, it turns into like a 9:15, 9:25 pace.
So roughly a 2-minute difference.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's pretty dramatic.
Mm-hmm.
And my effort obviously has to improve a whole lot. There's a lot more stress because you're now having to pay attention to what's right in front of you. Whereas when you're on the road, you don't have to think about any of that stuff. You
Right.
know it's a road. You know there's not going to be rocks. You know there's not going to be tree limbs, roots, holes, mud, all those other things. You don't have to worry about it.
So that awareness has to be much higher.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that takes away from your pace even more
Yeah.
because you're looking at these things, you're worried about it, stuff like that.
Yeah.
What about, tell us about the topography, the up and the down, how'd that look on this course?
So there's not really any extreme highs and extreme lows, but they do compound. The hills do compound and they kind of sneak up on you. You find yourself being like, oh my gosh, when is this hill gonna like end? It's just never ending.
Not super steep, but super long.
Yeah, not super steep. There's one steep hill that I got to see a lot of people throw up at the top of. I got to see a lot of people throw up at the top of that hill. So it's right after an aid station. So you enter this aid station, you make a left, and you go straight up this hill.
Okay.
So I'm assuming a lot of people are consuming a lot of calories right here, and then they get up the hill, and the body doesn't like it, and they get rid of it. But outside of that hill, there's just a lot of like hills that just kind of compound, and they get annoying.
What about the conditions? Is there like the trail itself? Like scale of 1 to 10 means like this, I can barely walk because there's so many roots and stuff like that. And one's like you're running on the concrete.
I would say this course is known for being fast, but it is extremely rooty.
Okay.
Everyone who's ever ran it will tell you, hey, those roots are going to catch up to you. And they do.
In what way? What do you mean catch up to you?
Well, as the course of time, your knees aren't able to raise up as high as maybe they would like, right? You're having to bring your knees up a lot higher than what you would if you're just be jogging on the road because you're having to lift your legs over things a lot. There's a ton of roots. So you're constantly having to pick your feet up a lot higher than what you normally would, right?
So a root that's coming out an inch out of the ground during that first 20 miles is like not a big deal. But from after 50, after 60, after 70 miles, your feet are dragging a little bit more than usual.
And you're catching a lot more roots.
Did you have any issues with that?
Yeah, because I couldn't.
By issues, I mean like not necessarily just like avoiding them, but I'm saying like, did you trip? Did you fall? Did you hurt yourself at all? Rolled ankles? Anything?
I never, when I was running well, I never had any issues. And then when I got hurt, when I was hurting,
Like around mile 50.
yeah, I had to start like swinging my leg around everything because I couldn't bend my knee to like drive my feet up. So I had to like swing my leg around a lot of things to the point where 60 to 80, I couldn't like, I would put my hand on these little bridges and I'd have to like manipulate my leg with my arms to get my leg up like that high off the ground.
When you say little bridges, like a handrail or just like a tree?
Well, there's little bridges because there's a lot of water crossings that we have, and so they have little bridges that you would run across.
Yeah, you're like pretty deep in the woods. There's a lot of like big trees around, and I mean that's where all the roots are there. And then like there's little babbling brooks in there and stuff. It's pretty nice.
Yeah.
So did you have to run through the water at any point? Did you get your feet wet?
Yeah, there were 2 sections that you gotta like run through some water, but it's not like
It didn't affect you though?
no.
Okay.
No, it wasn't that bad. There was offshoots that you could take instead of going on the bridge. You could take off the side, but they're extremely muddy. A lot of people took them at the beginning, but towards the end of the race, they're so muddy and so blown up that it's just a mess.
Okay. And you mentioned it was very cold, so Curry's dying in the cold, right? Let's get our mind back into the race. It's freezing. Was there any rain or anything?
No moisture.
Okay.
Thankfully, no moisture, none at all. But it was really cold.
Okay.
And I felt really bad for him because he was cold. Couldn't use his hands. I remember wanting him to film some of our stuff going on, but he couldn't like get his phone out. He couldn't move his fingers at all. It was terrible. I felt so bad for him
Because it was like 37 degrees, and he's walking essentially
for 20 miles
in a tank top and like 5-inch seam like shorts.
What have y'all talked about this? Like, what was his?
So, I mean, he anticipated to be running.
Yeah.
Right. So I think he thought he'd be able to regulate his temperature better if we were running, but even still, his hands would not have worked. So he didn't know.
Yeah.
He also wasn't expecting to be walking as much as we were.
Right.
But I think it's hilarious now. Because like when you're in that much pain, I was in a lot of pain at this point in time. Everything was just, and like you could ask him. There was never a point where I was like, I'm not gonna do this. I want to quit. Any of that. But like I was just in a lot of pain, and it's hard to like find wins or enjoyment when you're just in that much pain and know that like it's not gonna be ending anytime soon. So when I see him shivering and like really cold, it made me feel a little better personally.
Okay, the good, nice, yeah.
So I mean,
he did his job and helped
exactly,
you out.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's part of the crew's job. It came in a different way than he expected.
Yeah.
But that was pretty funny for me.
Do you mind if I ask? Like, at any point, you're on the third lap, right?
20 to 0 to 20, 20 to 40, 40 to 60.
When Curry's with you, you're in the third lap.
Fourth.
The fourth lap. Okay, so you're in the fourth lap. You're dying of pain. Your right leg. He's freezing. Does it ever go through your mind? Are you ever hoping that Curry's like, hey, man, like, let's just call it? Does that thought ever, like, tell us a little bit about the mindset?
I think there's two reasons why I picked the people that I picked to crew with me and pace me. Those people have never ran 20 miles before in their life.
They have not.
So I wanted this to be an experience for them as well.
Man, I want to talk to Curry, dude.
Yeah.
he's never ran. He's never ran a marathon or
he did he's done the Goggins challenge. You run 4 miles every 4 hours for 48 hours.
Okay, yeah.
So he's done that before, and he'd ran 12 to 15 miles a couple times leading up to it. But he's done a lot of competitions with me. He's been with me for a lot of like fitness endeavors that I have. And so I knew like if I can grip my way through it at 60 to 80, then he'll be able to figure it out.
Yeah.
And he'll be down for it. Right. So I wanted it to be an experience for him as well. Maybe not in the sense that I gave him, but I wanted this
he
to
had
be,
an experience, it sounds like.
Oh yeah. It was a lot for him. But what was your original question?
My original question was, during that time of him struggling and you in dire pain, you're having to lift your leg up, you still have 25, 30 miles. You still have to run a whole marathon through this. Did you ever hope that Curry would just be like, hey, man, let's call it?
No shot.
Okay. Zero. Never went through your mind.
I had instructed them for a couple months, maybe longer. Don't ever say things like that to me. That's never going to be an option.
Okay.
I know where my time to stop is. I've instructed my brother, who's the crew chief, if this starts to happen, we call it. Otherwise, we're going to keep going. So don't even bring it up.
I like it. The reason, just to give you some background here, the reason that I asked that question is when we're in really tough situations, we want to be like, for yourself, you can convince yourself
Yeah.
that you want to keep going or whatever. But there's always this lingering thing, like maybe someone else can just end it for me,
Yeah.
you know? And so I'm
Yeah.
just thinking, like, in that situation, it'd be a lot easier on you
Yeah.
if Curry was just like, hey, man, you're in pain. I'm freezing. Let's call it.
Yeah. I think like mentally, especially when I got hurt and I knew I couldn't train for a long period of time, it was like, all right, how can I basically mentally like trick my body into being able to do this? So it was a lot of like mental work. I'd spend, a couple hours a day preparing for this mentally and how I'm going to navigate certain issues that I may have. That was the saving grace of this whole thing, was like mentally, I don't think I ever wavered in like completion of my goal.
And you do that by like putting yourself in potential situations, or how do you mentally train for something like this?
When I'm training, it's a lot of like, all right, when I'm starting to feel this way, this is what I'm going to be thinking about. When I'm hurt, it's literally just me chilling, laying on the couch, and just thinking about this pain that I'm going to be feeling, what it's going to be like. Just basically like treating myself as if I'm in that situation already and planning how I'm going to navigate through it. So just sitting down and thinking about, okay, if I start to feel this way because of this, how can I manipulate my body to be able to get through this? What do I need to do? What do I need to say? Work through all the kinks now, because I'm pretty sure it's going to happen at some point in the race. Mm-hmm. So if I already figured it out, then I just plug and play, essentially, is what I like to do.
There's no surprise, nothing new. You've ran through all the scenarios beforehand.
Yep.
All right, so it's lap 4. Do you remember how long that lap took you? Do you know?
No, I don't. I should, but probably too long, probably like 6 hours or so. I don't know.
Compared to, do you remember, okay, let's call it 6 hours. Do you remember what your first or second lap was?
Oh,
I'm just looking for a little, you know what I mean? Like,
I'm trying to think, 20 laps, probably a little over 4.5 hours.
Yeah, I think you were pacing at around that because we were able to figure out, like I said, Logan was tracking them, so we had a good idea of what was going on. That's when we knew something was wrong, when we were coming up to that other lap, and it's just like, all right, where is he at? And you're like, I think that's when you were coming into like that 6 hour mark on a lap, and we were so used to that 4.
Yeah.
And we're like,
your first 3 laps were each about 4 hours.
Yeah, my third lap, the back 10, 15-ish miles were slow because of my legs, so that definitely slowed down my pace a lot.
Yeah, that's when it started. Yeah.
But lap 4, the entire lap was a struggle.
Yeah. I mean, it was a lot of, jog. I was able to jog probably the first 5 miles, and then after that it was like, walk 3 minutes, jog 30 seconds, and it just turned into if at any point in time I can jog, I'll try and jog. And then it became just, let's power hike as much as I can. And then it turned into get back to the start-finish line to get to 80.
So lap 4 is slow. You have a lot of time in your thoughts, I'm assuming, but Curry was there with you.
Yeah.
Are you guys talking the whole time? Are y'all talking strategy? Are you trying to talk about things that are not related to running at all? What's y'all strategy?
I think it started off very fun and kind of like, let's talk about life. What are you up to? Let's catch up. Let's have some fun inside jokes. And then it got to the point where it was like, okay, now we're working together to make sure that I get to mile 80. So then everything just became very systematic. And it was just like, all right, let's just figure out how we can get through this obstacle. How do we get over this? How do we get you to be able where you can jog for 30 seconds? It was just like, let's talk it out, let's figure it out, and let's just go to work. And it was that for hours. And like when you're out there, like at least for me, it if you were to tell me we did that in like 6 hours, it didn't feel like it.
What did it feel like?
Felt like 3.
Really?
Yeah. It like I didn't understand how long things were taking me, which I guess is good.
That's probably a good thing.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's a good thing. I had no idea, and I have a watch that's telling me how fast I'm doing things, right?
Right.
But I never looked at it because it didn't matter. Like, you got to do 100 miles, so I'm going to do it to the best of my ability. I don't need to look at my watch and see I'm doing like 30-minute mile paces.
Yeah, we were talking earlier about how sometimes when you're in this dire pain and people are trying to cheer you on, it just becomes like an annoyance. You
Yeah.
know? Did y'all have any of that? Were y'all trying to cheer each other on at all? Was there any motivational talk? Or y'all were just like, that's kind of stuff right now is pointless. We know it's not taking us anywhere. What was...
I think it's definitely the latter, right? Like, I think it was a lot of just like, we don't need any rah stuff. We're two guys that have been through hard things, tough things. We know what it's like. This is what we're up against. Let's just face it and do whatever we need to do to get through it.
Did you have any regrets about your fast start?
Everyone always asks me that. No, I don't. I think, and you could, it's funny because you can look at my paces and you're like, well, if you would have only slowed down a minute and a half here for these laps, you would have been able to have that economy later. It's like, it had nothing to do with the economy. My leg is hurt. So it was going to happen. Like, if I had just blown out and been like, oh, my legs are tired, whatever, that would have been one thing. But it was like, this guy, my left leg was just fine. You know, my body was fine. My belly was fine. Everything was fine. I just have this huge pain that is causing me to, I don't know. I don't regret it.
Well, now you don't. I mean, in that moment, though.
No.
Still no?
Because I already knew, like, that was going to probably happen. And I didn't know if it was going to happen at 20 or 90 or 50, wherever. But I'm happy that I pushed harder at the beginning because I have more time on the back end to struggle with this issue. I knew that my leg was going to become an issue at some point in time. Maybe if I didn't know that this was going to happen and this was a new thing that popped up during the race, maybe I would have been like, I probably went out too hot and made that upset, and now I'm dealing with it. But I already knew it was there, right?
It's just a matter of time.
Yeah, it was
a matter of time. So it was one, and this is another thing that, like, I told my brother, I told Sean, and I told Logan. Those are the only three people that I told that I was hurt, that I was dealing with issues, stuff like that. I didn't tell my parents. I didn't tell a lot of people because I didn't want more people to be worried about that or possibly putting it in my head when it is becoming an issue. I just needed everything to be as positive as possible, but also like just like business first.
Do you see other people struggling at this point?
Yeah.
Does that make you feel any better, worse, indifferent?
No, I was so like, I've done enough of these races that like usually after about 12 to 14 hours, you start to see a lot of people fall off. A lot of people get hurt. A lot of people get sick. A lot of people get tired, stuff like that. So you see it. But this is probably the worst pain or anything that I've dealt with. So I was just like, focus on me and whatever I'm doing to get across.
Do you have any idea of how many people DNF like did not finish?
I think there was 100 or so.
Wow. So
Yeah.
roughly a third.
Yeah.
Somewhere between 25 and 35% of people.
Yeah, maybe
Probably didn't
closer to
finish.
25, but yeah, there's a good amount. And I mean, who knows why, right? I mean, you may have some of the best runners DNF, right?
Sure, yeah,
There's
from an actual injury, like a legitimate injury can
Yeah.
make the best of the best.
Yeah,
You know.
exactly. Or it's just some people who didn't finish, or they have time cutoffs at each aid station. So if they know you're not going to be able to physically like make it from point A to point B in a certain amount of time, then they just stop you
Oh,
there.
they'll cut you off.
Yeah. So there's that too. But no, I was just so focused on like, how do I get to the finish line that like, it was just nothing else.
Tell us about the fourth lap team check-in. So you finished the lap with Curry.
So
You're coming in.
It was actually pretty interesting. I talk a lot about this, but it was just really impactful. I know that I didn't get to have the lap that I wanted to with Curry. Like I said, this was meant to, push these two other guys to a new experience, get to have, you know, a new thing that we get to have as friends, right? And I knew that we didn't really get to have it in what I thought it would be. And so I kind of wanted to ask him, I asked Curry, I was like, what was this for you? Like, what did you get out of this? It's probably like 5 minutes before we get back to mile 80. And he didn't really have a whole lot to say. And I didn't know if he was just so tired and cold and probably hungry and probably just wanted to get it over with, that he didn't really have a whole lot to say. But I was kind of hoping he would like kind of end me with like something that would like uplift me and get me ready for the next lap. But he really didn't.
Damn it, Curry.
And so that's what I was like, I don't think this guy thinks I can do it. Because I'm just only declining. From when we started to where we're finishing, my body is only getting worse. I'm only going slower, right? And so I'm hoping he's going to tell me something that's going to make me like cheer up and get excited to do this last lap.
Something like, dude, this is the greatest experience of my life.
Yeah.
Thank you for making me do this. And he's probably more like, why am I here?
Yeah.
Eli, I hate you. No,
Why are my shorts so short?
Yeah.
I don't know what he's thinking,
But so that happens, right? And I'm like, well, that's not good. I don't think he thinks I can finish.
You actually thought that?
Yeah.
Have you told him that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And he'll get to hear it on here and then probably in a video. And so, but yeah, that was really tough. I think that was probably the tough. And he may not even be thinking that at all. He's probably just cold and tired.
Yeah.
But in my head, maybe it did help me because I was like, he doesn't think I can do this.
I'm going to show this guy.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like how that next lap kind of started was like, I'm going to do this.
Curry went from best friend to like worst enemy.
Yeah.
In a heartbeat.
The Michael Jordan
Yeah.
effect.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
He was talking about my mom. I've never talked about Michael Jordan's mom in his life, but he just came and dropped 60 on my head. Like, what's going on?
Yeah. So I guess that was kind of fuel. So Curry, maybe that was on purpose.
Yeah, he did it on purpose. He knows you, dude.
Yeah.
He knows you better than anyone. He did it on purpose.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's right. So I go in and I pick up my next pacer, Kenny,
Okay.
who is a new fitness guy. We are childhood friends. We know each other since birth, grew up in the same town, been best friends our whole life. Growing up, Kenny was extremely fast. Really fast. Not long distance, but really fast.
He was an athlete.
Yeah. Wrestled, played didn't play base, played football. Just an all-around athletic kid. Had life happens, had kids, got out of fitness, and then me and my other buddy Andrew, who I used to go fishing with all the time, we're like, "Yo, you should go hiking with us." And so then we started hiking together all the time. We go on these trips and go explore and do cool stuff. And then so eventually he started running, and I was like, "Hey, do you want to pace me for this race?" And he was like, "I've never ran 20 miles before." I was like, "Well,
Perfect time to start.
perfect time to start." Right? So he trained.
By the time you run 20, I've already ran 80. Dude, we're good.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be even. Right? So
Perfect.
so he trained for 6 months to get ready for it. Basically became a new person in my eyes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so it's great. And he was very much more ready for the weather.
Okay.
He was dressed much better.
Okay.
He was ready for the weather.
Before we get into the fifth lap, though, I want to talk about, the third lap you came in, everyone was silent,
Yeah.
right? What was coming into the fourth one, though? Was Curry kind of giving them an update on how you were feeling, or like what was going on there?
So he couldn't. I wanted him to, but we couldn't. He couldn't operate his phone. He like truly
It was freezing.
Yeah, like couldn't, like his fingers and hands were not working. So we couldn't communicate with anybody. Like, hey, we're almost there. Hey, he's feeling this. Any of that. And I didn't have my phone on me either, which I do regret. I do regret that. I remember I was like, I got my Pacers here. I don't need my phone. I don't want to deal with it. Don't want to mess with it. So I just left it. And that was a mistake.
So you had it for the first couple laps?
Yeah, I was listening to music.
Okay.
Listening to podcasts, stuff like that, for the first few.
Okay.
But so no, there's no way to communicate. So when I came in, it was like, I think like 2 a.m. or so. So I mean, it was just there's no like family or friends anymore.
Oh,
at
everyone
this
had
point.
left.
Everyone
Okay.
had left.
Gotcha.
So it was a very small crew. It was like my brother, my dad, and Logan and Sean.
Okay.
And so we swapped out. Kenny came in, and I was really tired, and I was basically just like, all right, I got to figure this out. I got to figure it out. And so me and Kenny, I don't know if he just didn't know exactly, but we take off out of our aid station, and he starts like jogging. I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. He's
Chill
like,
out, bro.
Slow down, partner.
Don't show off right now,
Slow
buddy.
down, partner.
I was like, we're walking right now. I was like, my right leg doesn't work. Like I can't bend my right leg at all.
And so, yeah, I think Kenny didn't know because he kind of showed up more closer to when he was going to pace. Whereas all of us were kind of there the whole day. So
Yeah.
we were a lot more updated, but him and the fam came like right when he was ready to go. So
Okay.
he was just kind of like very small updates. So I think that's why he was like, all right, let's go. And then
Kenny's
you're like,
been preparing for this for 6 months. Dude.
Yeah,
He's ready to
Kenny's
go.
locked.
Yeah.
Kenny's locked in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was so hyped.
Yeah.
And I felt really bad when I was like, we're not running. He was like, okay. And we got through the first mile. I think it took us like 41 minutes.
Were you actually stopping a lot there? Is that why it took so long?
No, I was moving that slow.
Wow. And just to give some perspective here, I mean, I can walk a mile in 20 minutes, a little less than 20 minutes. I can walk a mile. So you were just really hurting that bad to where the legs just weren't working. It took you 40 minutes to walk a mile.
It'd be like if I replaced your right leg, with a stick. And said, all right, figure it out.
Figure it out. Like I cut your leg off
Yeah.
You just
and
got
put
a
a stick right there.
Yeah.
And that's how it felt.
Yeah. That's how much range of motion I had in that right leg.
Oh my gosh. What happened on mile 2?
Well, so mile 1 happens, and I think I'm like at like mile 3,
Really?
3.5, 4 miles. Like I told you, my perception of time and distance are like way off.
Uh-huh.
And he tells me, he's like, we made it 1 mile. I was like, what? He's like, we've only gone 1 mile. And I'm like, oh no, something has to change. I was like, all right, dude, we gotta figure something out, you know. So for the next mile, he's like, will a walking stick help? And I was like, oh, maybe.
Are you allowed to do that?
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean, we literally just like found a stick essentially, and I was just like using it as a crutch. Yeah, people have trek poles. You can,
Okay.
a stick is fine. Yeah. Fair question.
I don't know.
Yeah. And we found out that the stick was just making me slower.
But it made you feel better. Is that accurate? Or
I
no,
thought
not
that
really?
it would, because I thought that I'd be able to relieve some pressure
Right.
and like use it as another like a crutch essentially.
Right,
to,
like a leverage.
Yeah. But everything was just taking way longer dealing with it and messing with it. I was like, dude, this stick doesn't work. I was like, we got to figure something else out. So I ditched the stick and I'm like, you think some like ibuprofen or something would help? He's like, yeah, I bet that would help. I'm like, all right, cool. Text the crew, tell them I need some ibuprofen at the next aid station. So he texts him that and I'm like, all right, here's what we're going to do. I'm just going to power as hard as I can. If it's a hike, if it's a jog, whatever, I'm just going to do it for like 3 minutes. And then we can talk again. And I'll slow down and we'll figure it out for a minute. And we're just going to alternate that back and forth. And that's when everything clicked. And I was like, mind over body. Mind over body.
Mm-hmm.
And I said that for probably 4.5 hours straight. Just mind over body, mind over body. And then everything just became easier. It still hurt. It's still really painful. But like I could wrap my head around it and I could find ways to just power through it. And then all of a sudden I was able to like start jogging again. It still looked pretty funny and ridiculous, I'm sure, if I was to reenact it. But I was moving way quicker. You know, I went from like a 40-minute pace to like a 20-minute pace.
Okay, it's like a full-on walk.
Yeah,
It takes about 20 minutes to walk a mile.
Yeah. And this is also like on trails,
Yeah.
right? So it's not like you're just on flat road,
Mhm.
right? So going up in hills, all these other things that you're having to cross and deal with while out there. So
It's a light jog.
yeah,
You're actually jogging.
yeah, which felt so happy because I was like, I don't know if I'm ever gonna finish this thing. And that it wasn't until that moment that I was like, I'm not gonna get 24 hours.
Did you realize
Because I didn't have perception of time. I thought it was like we were like 10, 15 miles in, and the sun was like, I could tell was starting. I don't know. How should I phrase it for you?
The sun was coming around, I guess.
Okay, so the sun was shaping its way back around into my sight.
Perfect. Yes. Yeah, because the sun doesn't rise.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So it's working its way around, and that's when I realized I was like, oh man, I'm not gonna get 24 hours. I still thought that was like on the table. I thought it was like 2 a.m. when really it was like 5:30, and I was like, ah. And that's when I was like, yo, when's the time cap on this race again?
It like starts to sink in.
Yeah, because I was like, I still got to go another 10, 12 miles. I need to know like what I actually have against me. Because it wasn't even, I never even thought about a time cap before, right? So yeah, that's when I was like, oh crap, I have to like reevaluate my goals. But yeah, it was just a lot of that. And it wasn't until probably the last like 8 or 9 miles that I was able to like jog and like talk and like have like a fun experience again.
I keep coming back to the thought of you made the statement. You said with the stick, the stick slowed you down. So the statement you made was something along the lines of messing with it just made it worse. I'm just like, God, picking up a stick is like such an easy task and walking with it. So I'm trying to get into my mind the physical abnormalities that you're like dealing with at this moment. It was so extreme that just picking up a stick and holding on to it.
Yeah, his analogy with the cut your leg off and put a stick there is pretty accurate. Like seeing it in person, I was like, dude, his leg is just like, it's just not moving. Like it's just locked up.
That's crazy.
It's like walking around like he's like little peg leg pirate, like just walking around. And I was just like, dude, that looks rough. And it was cold. I was freezing.
There was one clip that's in the film that he has a clip of me kind of like moving similar to how I was moving. And I was like, dang, I did that for like 16 hours.
You did, dude.
Because like that stick as a leg it was a peg leg that I had. And then you try and like use another stick as leverage to help you. You had 2 sticks. Like it's not very good.
Yeah. 0 sticks is better than 2 sticks in this moment. Okay. So something clicks in your mind. You got 10 miles left.
Yeah.
Did you know that you had 10 miles left, and could you feel the finish line? Like what's going on?
Yeah,
there?
it was probably like mile 93 or 94 that I was like, I'm really gonna do this. Because all before that, it was like, how do I just get to the next thing, the next aid station, when's the next time I get to see Sean and Logan again? Because I told them, I was like, hey, just come to every aid station. It helps me a lot. It makes me feel better. Just come, and then I know that I have something to look forward to when I get there. And so it's like get to the next aid station as fast and quick as I can.
Sure.
So yeah, it wasn't until late, like last 5 miles, that I was really like, I'm gonna do it. And even then, I was always battling like, man, this was not the experience I was thinking I was gonna have or wanted to have. Because no one wants that, and no one's like, I think people have this misconception of endurance athletes that we like love pain and we love like hardship and that we get excited about it. We don't get excited about those things. We don't enjoy those things. We just like push through them because we know it makes us better on the other side, right? That's what we get enjoyment out of, is knowing that we got better, stronger, learned something, can add more to our lives and others' lives because of what we endured. But we don't enjoy pain. We don't enjoy being hurt. Like, none of that is fun to us. And I think that's something that like can get misconstrued, especially in social media, is like the more you hurt, the more painful it is, the better it is. It's not efficient. It's not correct, right? It's not healthy. It's not longevity, right? Like, we do these things. A, we train really hard for them, right? So it's not just a new thing. And then B, we know that there's something better coming on the other side of it. That's why we do it, right? So even when I'm thinking about, wow, this wasn't the experience I wanted, it's like, all right, well, how can I tack this on to my life after this race, right? And so I had asked Kenny, I was like, kind of similar question that I asked Curry on like our last few miles. Kind of like, what were some of the takeaways? What did you enjoy about this? And he was like, I think it's so incredible how many lives you got to impact because you did this. The amount of people that you put together, the amount of people that came here for one cause to help you, like, is really awesome. And I think Sean kind of spoke to that as well, but it's like, it's a really special thing that you got to do this, but also bring all these other people together and also do something incredible that they now get to expand to their lives, right? And now it's something that, like, when you're so focused on your goal, it's obviously hard to look out at how it affects other people. So to see what I was going through and battling and dealing with, knowing that it was having this huge outreach on a group of people that have never really been exposed to this or even knew that it was a thing, like, was really powerful. And I think that was one of the biggest things that, like, stuck to me with that whole race, was like that small conversation that we had, just like, dude, you made a huge impact just by you doing this, you know? I think that was like the biggest takeaway. So while my race didn't look how I wanted it to or go how I wanted it to, I think because of the way that it went and the direction that it led, had this bigger impact that I could have never had it went smooth.
So Kenny came through on your question.
Yeah. Kenny delivered it. Kenny delivered it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Nice job, Kenny.
Yeah. So Kenny
That
gets
was great, dude.
Yeah, you gotta keep your job.
Do you see yourself doing another one of these? Before we talk about the finish line, I want to ask that question.
Yeah, so I have another 100-miler in October.
This year.
Uh-huh.
Wow, that's not that far away. We're in July.
Yep.
Couple months.
3 months.
Yeah. 3 hard months of training.
Wow.
Yeah.
How's the leg?
Not great.
Nice.
Not great. But I have a plan.
Okay.
So I'm actually gonna do a gait analysis here this upcoming week and kind of deep dive into what exactly is causing this issue.
Okay.
Because it's only happening when I'm running and walking.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any trouble cycling. I don't have any trouble lifting. I don't have any trouble doing anything other than that movement. And it's usually not until about an hour and a half of doing those two things that I start to feel it. So it's a gait pattern issue that I got to figure out and then work on while tacking on training. And then I have a bigger goal the following year.
Just tell us about that. We'll save that for another time, but I want to hear what's the goal and then. No details. Just tell me the goal.
Run from one end of Oklahoma to the other.
Okay. Enough said for now.
Yeah.
Enough said.
Yeah.
Okay. So we got 5 miles left. Kenny just delivered the goods.
Yeah.
He's got us feeling good. You know, we're on top of the world.
Yeah.
Tell us about the last 5.
It was just it was what I wanted the whole 20 to be, right? Like, I got to share some trail time with my buddy. We got to jog and run and share some laughs and just get to have like an enjoyment of the race. You know, you get to take in the trails. You get to appreciate things again. The sun is up too.
Yeah, it was really pretty
which is
around
nice,
that time.
right? So the sun is up. You're not just in the dark. I was with Curry in the dark the whole time.
Right.
So you see like this. We got to see everything. The sun coming up over the lake. It was great. not over, around.
Thank you.
But a lot of sun talk. I need to bring the sun out of things. But that was really just, it was just a beautiful like experience. And then I could start to like, I had Kenny texting my family like, hey, I'm coming in and I'm jogging, I'm running, so you guys need to be ready. I was telling him like, we're coming. We're in it now. And so that was just exciting to be like running again and like moving again and being like, I'm going to end this thing in a high spirit. You know, you don't ever want to crawl into a finish line or, you know, end it feeling terrible about yourself, you know? So it was great to just be happy again and know that I'm going to finish in a style that I like. Yeah.
And tell me about that style. Like you could I'm talking the last 100 meters.
I mean, you want to run it, right?
Yeah.
But you don't want to like finishing a marathon. And I understand it's very difficult and it's maybe difficult in 100 miles in its own right, but you want to finish good. But like I've also ran 100 miles and one of my legs is a stick. So I can't just like have a sprint finish.
Right.
You know, but you come in and there's this guy on a big drum. It's just like drumming you in, you know?
Yeah.
And then you have Sean yelling his butt off, telling me to get in. You have all these people like celebrating and yelling and like, they're kind of like telling you like, run in, dude.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm going to go like the best that I can. So, but you get a huge elation of just like, I'm going to do this thing. And someone's going to like put a medal over my head here in a second. And that's going to be awesome. Right. You start to see like all your family, all your friends, and they have a face of like, they know it's done, you know? So there's also this feeling of like, I can breathe again and like relax. I don't have to feel like I got to get this guy out there again. You know, I can finally tell him to sit down and relax. So I come in and, I don't know. It's a weird feeling when you finish something like that. Because you go through so much in a day in those races. It feels like I could barely remember like the warming up and stretching before the race. That's how much time feels like passes and how much you go through in that day that like warming up and stretching felt like a week before. Time is so weird. It was a weird feeling of like, to not go back out there and do another lap. It felt weird to not do that.
To stop.
Yeah, it felt weird to stop. I almost like was afraid to stop because I knew once I stopped, my body was
Gonna catch up to you.
yeah. But they you know they get the medal around you. They give you a buckle, and I wanted to be excited. I wanted to be happy, you know, but I just knew that it didn't go the way that I wanted it to. Regardless of impact and people and things like that, like it's still my race and I still had my goals. So I wanted to be happy because everybody wants to be happy. They're so proud of you. Everybody's happy for you. But at the same time, you're like, oh, I wanted to do it quicker. You know? So that's kind of where I was at. I felt this weird, like, I want to be happy. I want to be excited. But I'm still like internally like, dang, I really got to do this again now, you know? That's how I felt. It was bittersweet.
I do want to talk a little bit about the recovery.
Okay.
You know, tell us about that day. You finished it early in the morning because you started. It was probably like 8 o'clock.
Yeah, it was a little later. I think it was around
8 or 9ish.
Yeah, it was like 8:30.
Okay.
Yeah, it was around 8:30. We finish, and then they got to break down camp, get everything put up, all that stuff. So I'm sitting in a chair for, you know, an hour and a half, which is not fun because everything is like now locking up and getting tight, and you're really tired. And then you got to go to the bathroom, but your body doesn't want to move to get to the bathroom. That was tough. But you can't, like, I mentioned earlier how much caffeine I took in. So while I'm really tired, I'm still like kind of wired in a weird way as well. So I get in the car, and about 45 minutes to an hour to get home. Get home. I'm in a lot of pain. So moving hurts, right? I want to sleep, but I can't really sleep. I'm not hungry because I've been eating nonstop. So you kind of just lay there, like in bed for a couple hours, and you're also dirty and nasty, sandy.
It's just getting worse and worse.
So it's just like everyone's just like kind of worried about you. Outside, you can hear them kind of talking about you.
I'm crying. It's just getting worse.
That's like you're just like outside the the hospital or something.
It's like
Hospital
first
room.
it hurts, then I'm dirty and I'm nasty.
Can't move.
Now everyone's talking about
I can't
me.
sleep. I can't
Yeah.
eat.
Yeah, it's not fun.
I can't escape this pain. I gotta
Yeah.
just live with it, bro.
Yeah. So I told Kayla, I was like, hey, make sure we have some crutches. And so I'm really good on crutches.
Was
So-
this before or after the run? Like,
Before, yeah. I've been hurt a lot when I was a child.
oh, okay.
So I spent a lot of time on crutches. So I got crutches, and I'm like, whatever, I'm getting up. I can't sleep. And so I'm just flying around on crutches, So watching TV and stuff, and I eventually fell asleep like 4 or 5 hours after
Like that afternoon.
Yeah. And then I slept for 5 or 6 hours. And that was nice. The coming days, though, were pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know it. Once you take that long sleep, you wake up and you're just like, it's going to be bad.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to make sure that I'm curious myself about the recovery thing. So
And that's my story, right?
right.
Not every runner has that exact story, especially if you're someone who is doing it full time.
Well, if you're seasoned, that's
Yeah.
different.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
So ideally that wouldn't have been the case. And my left leg, the next day, wasn't that bad.
Really?
Yeah, wasn't bad at all. It was kind of sore, like in places like my quads and my calves were sore, but very doable. But my right leg, no shot. Couldn't do anything with it. Hurt to do anything with it. Nothing. And that went on for like a week until I could start to like bend it and like walk. And I think for that time, I was still limping around, and I had a crutch with me that I would use if I had to move a whole lot. So I'd probably say about 2 weeks until I could like just walk.
Normally.
Mm-hmm.
How long until you were like training again?
Probably like 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, that was like go jog a mile and like lift, stuff like that. Because I was still trying to figure out how to get that better and what to do. And so I was going to rehab for stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember after my first half marathon, I felt like death for like a week.
Yeah.
That was like 13 miles. Dude. That's like a warm, like I didn't even finish a lap, dude. So I'm just trying to wrap my mind around the recovery process from running 100 miles in 27 hours.
Yeah, I think the other thing too is like your gut and like what that goes through, the stress that your gut goes through in that amount of time, and the time that it takes to recover. Depending on who you are, takes a little bit longer than others. So like my appetite is really weird for the next week after. I don't eat a whole lot, but if I do, it's usually just like one big meal. But I'm usually just not hungry. A lot of things just don't sound good. So it's just a lot of hydration and usually like a big meal or so.
Putting your body through things like this, obviously you learn a lot. And you mentioned earlier that endurance athletes do these things because there's something better on the other side.
Yeah.
You're how old now?
34.
Okay, we're the same age. I think I knew that, but I wanted to make sure. Do you feel like these things you're putting your body through are, deteriorating your body?
Inducive to longevity?
Yeah, I guess. That's Yeah.
Yeah,
Good question, yeah.
I mean, I know that generally this is not good for people. I don't tell people, hey, you should go sign up for a 100-mile race,
Right.
right? I'm not doing that. Am I going to stop someone who wants to train for one? No.
Mm.
Do I understand that I may have conditions going on in my body that maybe don't suit this activity very well? Yeah. But this is my way of pushing myself and my way of finding ways to better myself. So if it comes at a slighter risk of, longevity in life or maybe not being able to have the same exact experience had I not run 100 miles, I'm willing to risk that for the benefit of what it does for me mentally and the people that are around me.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I very much understand that this isn't the best for everybody, but this is what I feel is best for me. And that's usually how I speak when I talk about these endeavors because they're not good for everybody. I know that, right? It's kind of proven what it can do to your body.
Right. That's why I asked the question. Like,
yeah.
is this something that you take seriously, I
Yeah.
guess,
Yeah.
as part of the consequence?
Yeah, I mean, I'm dealing with a consequence right now, right? But I'm still I'm gonna figure it out and then get back to doing what I love, right? I think my quality of life dips down a lot when I don't be able to get to do this activity. And if things start affecting my quality of life, then that's when I reevaluate and figure out what do I need to do to make sure I can have this back in my life, right? I think everyone has their choices that they make to bring quality of life up or down, right? If it means I have to put in more work or I have to endure, more pain for a day so I can keep my enjoyment, then I'll do that. If it means I gotta, train for 6 months longer or rehab, whatever, so I can keep this longevity for me to keep my happiness, I'll do that too. So, but that's me.
I like it, dude. I don't think you could have said it any better. You signed up for another one. Are you signed up yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It'll be in Oklahoma.
Okay.
Yep. So it'll be in Ardmore, Oklahoma.
That's how many miles is it from one side of Oklahoma to the other?
So that's not a race.
I understand it's not a race. I'm just curious.
Oh, that one is 265 miles.
Okay.
So
Jeez.
We will discuss on a later date.
yeah.
I'm sure that you're glad you did the race. Is there anything you would have changed in your preparation, in your preparation of your team, or anything like that? Maybe like kind of wrap up questions here.
I can't speak enough to the team that I put together. It was the best team. I don't think I could have done anything differently there. And I think a lot of people were kind of nervous because not really anybody knew anybody.
They were all like different friend groups kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So I literally pulled together who I thought would be best for each task and plugged and played, right? And that's kind of just how the whole team came together, and it went amazing. Race strategy, I think I did everything to the best that I could, and I dealt with it the best that I could when things went wrong. Mentally, no wavering. So I thought I did well preparing for that. I really don't have any regrets or anything I would have changed, which is best case scenario, right?
For sure. What are you going to do different for this race coming up?
Well, the goals are a little different. Another big thing that was really important to me was getting this 100-mile mark done. I've done 24-hour stuff, 75 miles, 80 miles. I've done a lot of high mileage things, but never had a 100-mile race under my belt. So that was also like a big thing for me, was like, I'm not quitting because I need to get this 100 miles in. Like, I just, bare minimum, I'm getting that. Right? Whereas this race is a little different, and I'm going to push to be hopefully a little more competitive.
Okay.
It's a much smaller race as well.
Like less participants?
Mm-hmm. Much smaller race, probably under 100 people, somewhere in that ballpark. So I'm hoping to be a little more competitive, which means I got to be a little quicker. So if things go south, then I probably will be a little quicker to pull myself just so that I can not mess anything up too much so that I can get back out there sooner. So a little bit different strategy.
Similar style race though.
Yeah, it's actually you go
Same
around a lake.
terrain.
You go around a lake. It's very similar terrain.
Okay.
So Huntsville, where I had that race, will actually be a big training ground for me.
Okay.
Yeah. So it'll be a very similar setup.
All right. Any final thoughts? Any last words? Looking back on your experience.
Yeah, I just wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change a thing, man. It was powerful, and it was powerful because I got to see all the other people that it affected. That's what made it so great. If it was just me and my brother and we did the race, it would have been like, dang, that was rough. But like getting to see just how many people it touched and affected and made better, like that was like, we won, because like I got to see one of my best friends like completely change his lifestyle and his health because of this goal that I had, and I just brought him into it. That's like, I don't know, dude.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I feel like I added like 3 to 5 years of this dude's life. He may, I don't know. He's like, dude, I was doing all the training. What are you talking about? You may feel that way, but in my head, I'm like, you may not have done that had I not asked him.
Right.
So I think that was like the coolest thing, was just getting to see my goals impact so many other people.
I love it.
Yeah.
Perfect. Where can we watch the film? You mentioned the film a couple times. The
So
documentary.
it's gonna be on my YouTube channel.
Okay.
It's coming out. I don't know when this will air, but I think it comes out July 12th.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, that'll be before this probably, right?
Sure. Yes. I don't have my calendar in front of me. Yes.
It'll be out. It'll be out
Sick.
July 12th,
Yeah,
so
okay.
it'll probably be out. I think we're gonna put it on my YouTube channel, hooked up with cousin Eli, Cuzin, but I'll put it on all my socials. I'm sure you guys will have it on your
doubt.
social media as well.
Yeah.
Sean did
I'm gonna.
an incredible job.
Oh shucks.
It was so
Oh,
much
shucks.
I bet.
That was a film for sure. As far as like, I don't really have any questions. I'm kind of like peeping at the memory card. This is one of the longer episodes we've done. So I'll just keep it quick. But he definitely was like a challenging film. But it was the longest. I've never done something like this. It took a lot to put it together, especially as a one-man band. On the filming side, of course, you were doing the running and the real hard part, but it was interesting.
Were you there the whole time?
The whole time.
You stayed awake the whole time?
The whole time. Oh, well, I slept. We did sleep at some
I was gonna say, I
points.
know you took a nap.
Yeah, we definitely slept at some points, but because there was times where we were just like waiting for Eli to come in.
Sure.
So, but yeah, it was just like it. I think it pushed me as not only as a just a creative, but like I felt like a filmmaker in a way. Kind of putting it together, getting the score, getting the storyline going, and I feel like it really challenged me as a guy. Like it felt like I was more than just a guy behind a camera. It felt like I was like a creative or a filmmaker or something.
Yeah, a storyteller.
Storyteller. And yeah, it was challenging at points. I mean, it definitely came at a time where it was like a rougher part in life for me. So I was just like, but something I would always tell myself, like going through it, I was like, man, this guy was able to run 100 miles. I can definitely film and deliver it,
Yeah.
like it's, I'm doing the easy part. I'm sitting in a chair clicking buttons, and this guy was out there running
With sticks.
like with stick legs, and so it was, but it was very cool. Seeing it come together and like deliver was a defining moment for me. I think it was cool, and I appreciate you, man.
I get to give this guy that.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
That's all you.
Isn't that so cool?
All you, man.
I love it.
Curry ran his first 20. Kenny changed his life.
Sean is now a storyteller.
Yeah, that's right.
I
dude.
mean, it definitely.
You said your brother, your dad.
Oh yeah, my dad got to see me race for the first time. He was so proud. That was probably the coolest thing for me, was seeing how happy my dad was.
Really?
For me.
Cool.
Yeah, that was.
Was your dad
really
an athlete?
powerful.
Your dad's a runner or no?
No. Nope.
I'll take that as a no.
No, my dad just grew up in a place and time when it wasn't really doable for him to do sports and stuff.
Gotcha.
I'm sure he was very fast. He was small.
Yeah.
I think he told me he was fast. But nothing like, running 100 miles or
Right.
anything like that.
Basically, you would smoke your dad, is what you're saying.
Well, I mean, now that you say that, like a good way to kind of maybe wrap this up is the understanding the feat that is running 100 miles without stopping is insane. The likelihood of anyone listening to this meeting someone in their life that has ran 100 miles is like 0.0000001%.
Yeah.
You're in that.
Yeah.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, it's insane. It's like there's a small amount of people that have even ran the marathon distance.
Yeah.
So it's like to do that 5 times is crazy.
Insane. All right.
Impactful, man.
Yeah. We're done here. There's nothing else to say.
Cut the cameras.
Yeah, there's nothing else to say. Watch the doc. It's coming out on
The 12th.
the
July
12th
12th,
on
yep.
Eli's YouTube channel.
Yep. And I'll post it on my social.
Yeah, I'll post it on
so-
mine a couple of days after, and we're gonna have a trailer coming out soon. So
Okay.
yeah. So yeah.
All right, man.
Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, dude. Appreciate it.
I appreciate it.
I'm ready for that next race, dude.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
All right, guys.
Redemption.
We'll see y'all next time. Appreciate you coming on, Eli.
Peace.
Later.
Peace.